Hello and good morning. This is the ICTFOOTPRINT.eu 10th webinar we have, and the title is Green Policies, Green Labels and Virtualization Efficiency. We're delighted today to have three speakers. Let me just get this viewed at the moment so you can all see as well. Bear with me.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen in front of you? You can just hear the audio, correct?
Yes, we have the audio.
Just the audio.
Just the audio. We don't have the screen.
Okay, just bear with us just a second, just two minutes. Thank you very much for your patience.
Yes, it's okay. We can see the screen.
It's okay. Yes.
Okay, so we should have that now. We have our 10th webinar, as I said before. Thank you for your patience. It's in partnership with Nantes Métropole, EasyVert and Green Specter. And we have three speakers. We have Mathieu Clavier, who's from the Nantes City Lab Coordinator. We have also Thierry Lebouc and Martin Dajon. So thank you very much, the three of you, for participating and contributing to our successful series of webinars discussing green ICT issues. Now, the purpose of our webinars are to try and bring together like-minded communities who are worried about reducing their carbon footprint. And what's nice is that it's behind a coordination support action organised and funded by the European Commission called ICTFOOTPRINTeu, and we recommend you to go and visit the site if you haven't already. There are three partners involved. There's trust-IT, which is our company, who coordinate the initiative and look after our outreach and communications, Deloitte Sustainability from Paris, and Eurocities Network. Here you see in front of you the list of our stakeholders who are involved, also that we try and reach out to discuss some of the results that the project has delivered, which I'll just go through very quickly before I pass the floor to our knowledged speakers today. The results so far, we've managed to pull together a community of over 5,000 members between our social media and profile databases. We have a marketplace on the website where we reach out to both suppliers and buyers who have something to showcase or have a tool or an application or a product that they'd like to put onto the market, and ICT Footprint allows this platform for this to take place. We have a set of international advisory group members who help support us on updating on any of the initiatives going on around Europe, especially on green ICT. And if you look underneath, there's an actual map that you can click onto from the website of ICT standards, and some of the members of our advisory group are part of these standards, which have delivered a set of methodologies. And what we've done is actually update them over the 3-year period. And so the project was also funded to help raise awareness of these ICT methodologies, and you can find them all in one place now, whereas before they were scattered around and people were unaware that they actually existed. What we've pulled out also is a self-assessment tool which helps organizations try and reduce their carbon footprint, especially for ICT intensive SMEs. And we've put together a series of webinars like the one you're listening to today, and we've been active in multiple events all over Europe. So what we want is clearly to continue to increasing our community in the various areas out there, which we think we've managed to assemble a significant number of players. And I think having this visibility on the marketplace obviously allows organizations to increase their visibility towards their community. So if you're listening in and you're not a speaker and you might have a success story on, and you might have a series of best practices on becoming sustainable in ICT, then do send us a message, and we can you go through a certain criteria, but clearly if it's related to efforts around ICT, then we look at that with great care, and we can publish you on our website. Just some figures which back up our community numbers, which we're particularly proud of. So they're not just 2 or 3 of us. There is a solid, consolidated community with people who regularly contribute, who are enthusiastic, and we like the fact to be able to continue doing this in the coming months. I mentioned the SATO, this tool which is free to download. It just takes about 15 minutes of your time to complete. You're delivered a final report. You would have to have some inclination of insights of your organization to help complete the survey. They were open questions, but closed ones that deliver multiple choice answers, and it gives you a personalized report that shows your climate change and primary energy footprint of your ICT intensive organization. You can see in front of you, you have a URL link. You can find this from the web page as well. So we would value you coming in and completing that. And lastly, we were delighted to inform you that we've been accepted in having both an exhibition stand and a networking session in the prestigious event of ICT 2018, which is happening from the 4th to the 6th of December in Vienna this year. And we would value anyone who would like to, who are attending the event, or if they're not, if you want to come along to our event, if you'd like to actually showcase anything at our stand, or if you'd like to present during our networking, then we'd be happy to discuss this with you. So with that, I would like to pass the floor now to Mathieu Clavier, who is from Nantes Métropole. His title of his intervention is Green ICT at Nantes Métropole, and who will present the proactive policy on energy transition, which was launched by your organization recently. Mathieu is the Nantes City Lab coordinator and was formerly the ICT Technical Architecture Officer at Nantes Métropole. So very timely contribution, and obviously your profile completely fits the context of what we're discussing today. So with this, I'll pass the floor to you, Mathieu. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. So good morning, my name is Mathieu Clavier. I was formerly Chief Technical Architect Officer at the IT department of Nantes Métropole. And in this position, I developed and fostered actions for a more responsible IT, at least in terms of energy topics. In this presentation, I will more talk about energy efficiency than decrease of carbon footprint. So I will briefly present to you the context of Nantes Métropole. So Nantes Métropole is a metropolis located in the west of France and is grouping 24 cities of various sizes. The smallest one has just 1,800 inhabitants, and the biggest one is the city of Nantes with more than 300,000 inhabitants. So Nantes Metropole is the public structure which manages IT services for numerous activities. Actually, there are more than 400 software applications and numerous servers, and this public structure provides IT equipments for more than 7,000 users. So you can imagine what a playground it is for this type of experiment. As I started working in this environment, I identified numerous opportunities to improve the efficiency of IT infrastructures in terms of energy. And my presentation will present you the approach I had mainly for the last 4 years, even if this global approach started for about 8 years now. So first of all, I would like to underline that during all this period, I have privileged a collaborative approach for all these subjects. And the two following people, Green Specter, Thierry Lebouc, and from Green Specter, and Martin Dargent from EasyVit, I worked with them to develop a global approach and territorial approach for ICT subject. So you can see on the slide different partners whom I work with, and it concerns public and private partners. On the slide, you can see also the progression of our initiatives for at least 8 years, the last 8 years. And I pointed out the main steps during this period. Actually, we made the major step in 2015 with the release of the Green IT Roadmap, which has structured our approach. And I will present you briefly this roadmap and the associated actions. So the Green IT Roadmap is just a 2-page document which describes the ambition of the metropolis to drastically decrease the IT energy consumption and to promote this ambition towards all local players of the territory. And it is a collaborative document. And I worked in particular with Green Specter and EasyVet to write it. And rapidly, we agreed the most efficient way to work should be based on sharing results of simple and concrete actions. So we have decided to identify 5 domains, and for each domains, we described, smart-like objectives, actions with smart-like objectives, simple, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-related. So I'm going now to present you most of these actions. The first domain concerns the collaborative dimension of our action on the territory, on the area of Nantes Metropole, how to associate most of public stakeholders. So we identified 3 actions. The first one is an action of animation to create a place to share good practices. And we know that people act on their own structures. Letting know what is done on the territory is really virtuous. People realize they are not alone and they can share their experience with others. So most of the cities of the metropolis are pleased to work collectively on the subject. The second action was to share good practices on very concrete actions like IT energy audits. The metropolis and the city of Nantes realized this the first IT energy audit in 2013, and this audit is the key operation to diagnose and prioritize what actions we will work on. And actually, this operation is really essential for the evaluation of actions that we will engage after. So we have to do it again regularly to measure the progression. And as you see on the slide, we have been the first non-metropole and city of Nantes, and after the year after, another city of Saint-Éblène, and the year after, city of Orvaux. So we keep on doing some IT energy audit on the different cities of the metropolis. Finally, the third action had to define a public purchase policy with green IT criteria. In a way, this action has failed. Why? Because our IT purchasing chief officer was so aware of energy issues in IT equipment that he decided on his side to choose a very low energy workstation for the 5 next year of hardware replacement. Actually, it's really efficient, but we haven't defined a purchase policy, so we have to do it now. So it's only action, but not we not have written this action in a global strategy. Our new workstations consume 3 times less energy than the previous ones, and the estimation of energy savings at the end of the replacement period will reach more than 100,000 kilowatt-hour savings a year compared to 2015 energy consumption of this equipment. After that domain, we propose 2 actions in data centers domain. In Nantes Metropole, we have 2 old data centers, and when you enter in each of them, you are freezed. You know why? Just because we are used to set temperature to 19 Celsius degree. Also, ASHRAE, I don't know if you know ASHRAE. It's an American organism which makes recommendations for best practices in data center. So ASHRAE prescribes to increase temperature to 27, even up to 33 degrees Celsius in specific conditions. So if you increase the temperature, you consume less energy to cool the data center. So we propose to increase temperature to 23 degrees Celsius, considering no adaptation of our data center, because they are too old, and it's a very simple action, and which produce immediately energy savings without any specific adaptation. Our problem is the cooling system is managed by an external company, and it is very difficult for us to retrieve figures to evaluate the amount of energy saving. But we know that savings are real. Another proposition we made related to data center activity is to shut off unused virtual servers. We have done this action with EasyVirt, and with the virtualization process, the problem is that creating new servers is too easy. So we can easily multiply numerous servers, virtual servers, and to assure a controlled deployment of new and complex applications nowadays, best practices request to have multiple platforms, like a test platform, a pre-production platform, and a production platform. So we multiply the number of servers by 3, and these servers don't feel physically our data center, so we never see them. But these servers keep on consuming energy, even if they are in standby, and even if they are virtual. So we have worked with the operational team to automate the shutting down of unused servers every Friday. The result, more than 100 servers, over 700 are permanently shut off. Another domain we addressed is the printing domain. This one is more traditional for immediate actions and is more common. So it's just printer default settings with, recto, verso, and black and white settings. But this simple setting enable us to save numerous paper rings. And recently we measured that more than 92% of printings are recto verso, so it's really working. Another very simple measure action, which is quite common, is just to set the standby mode of our 5,000 workstations. The standby mode is automatically activated after 3 hours of inactivity. And on top of that, during the IT energy audit, we have observed really good users' behaviors, like shutting down their computer for lunchtime and at the end of the day. And for this action, all indicators are really good. At least I will finish by 2 actions about EcoDesign, because energy savings concerns also the software design. Our first action has concerned the new mobile city app, Nantes in my pocket, which is a daily application to make easy the life of citizen in Nantes. And with the inspection of this application, we have detected a source of large energy consumption, which could impact the lifetime of the battery of users. And either for global energy saving as for user comfort of having a smartphone that lasts all the day, modifications on code have been made to solve this problem. And we have made this action with the support of Green Specter, which will make a presentation just after mine. And the last, the most recent action about EcoDesign stands last year with the labelization of a whole website with the Green Code label. This label evaluates the respect of 34 criteria, I remember, of best practices of coding in an eco-design way. For example, it measures also the consumption of energy of the starting page. When you display, carousel with multiple images, and all this display consumes a lot of energy because you have to send a new big image every 5 seconds and so on. So it evaluates what we can gain and how to optimize these things. Once again, it has been a very collaborative work between web designers, coders, communication team, and it has been a very rewarding experience with a strong communication impact. So to conclude, we have many fields to investigate and to keep on improving our IT energy savings. We still have many projects in the pipe, like to renew our IT energy audit, to identify where, at what stage we are. And we are an experimentation of digital boilers, which consists to put, server in and to use the heat of server to heat water for showers, actually. And we need continuous measures. That's the main difficulty we had in the measurement. And we also want to evaluate energy issues of cloud solutions, cloud computing solutions. And that's it. So my last words would be to keep pragmatic, choose realistic and measurable actions, and measure what you do. Measure before, measure during your action, and measure after. And as much as possible, work in collaborative way to engage a sustainable transformation. Because if it reposes on it stands only on one or two people, we can't assure a sustainable transformation. So thank you for your attention, and I can answer questions if you want.
Thank you very much for your intervention. Most appreciated. It seems that you were very passionate about what you're doing and managed to incentivize many of the authorities clearly at not Metropole to then put together your roadmap. With Rita, we were discussing that it might be nice for us to actually put your 2-page of the roadmap on as a news piece on part of the website, if you'd like that. Yeah. We do that, and so people can exactly, people can read that, no problem. So we had a few questions, but I think I'm going to just do the one, so then we'll move on to our next speaker, Mathieu, if you don't mind. And it was the one question that I think, from an impact point of view, I quite like to ask you this. From the green ICT procedures and processes that you implemented at Nantes Metropole, can you give us an idea of which has managed to achieve the highest level of energy saving?
Actually, I told you when our main problem was to measure, but I think the highest gain come from the replacement of workstation with the low energy workstation, and we measure it represents a very high value of energy saving. I told more than 100,000 kilowatt per year, and actually it's the process is running, so this action is really producing a very good results for energy savings.
Okay, Mathieu, thank you very much for that. You please feel free, anyone on the line online, to ask any questions offline that you would like to ask Mathieu. Do stay with us, Mathieu, as we go on to our second speaker. Thank you very much again. And it's the chairman at Green Specter. We're proud to have you with us today, and that's Thierry Lebouc. He was the founder of the Green Code Lab and implied in several green IT projects like the Green Code Lab Challenge, Web Energy Archive. Green Code label is in several R&D projects in green coding and energy consumption. And we're proud to say that Green Specter is one of our suppliers on our marketplace. So with that, Thierry, I'm going to pass the floor to you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Silvana and Mathieu, for introduction. Can you see my screen on your screen? It's okay.
Can you put it in presentation mode, Thierry? Then we can see that better.
Oh.
Are you able to do that?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Perfect. Yes, got it. Go.
Okay, so just a short introduction. I want to speak about Green Label for Web to make the link with the work we have done with Nantes Métropole and on one of their websites. And just to introduce myself, I am founder of Green Specter and co-founder of a community that is named Green Code Lab in France. And I will speak about in the further minutes. Green Specter, just to have in a nutshell some figures. We have created 8 years ago. We are more than 10 employees today in Nantes, and we are a specialist of software eco-design. And we have created a tool to optimize application in mobile and web and IoT domains. And we have created the first tool in the cloud that is able to measure the real consumption in energy, in resources more generally, for the software developer, application developers, architects, etc., and that can help them to manage energy consumption all along the life cycle of a product, of a digital product. So just to begin, I want to introduce Green Code Lab. It's the reason of my intervention today. Green Code Lab is a French association, a French community to help people in digital companies, in digital jobs, to help them to act in eco-design for their digital services. We have several actions in this group. We have wrote a book, the Green Patterns book, to introduce what is a green pattern and explain and give some examples to apply this. We have created the first tool to measure energy consumption in web. You just have to put your URL and we can measure what is consumed by your web page. We have created the first Green Code Lab challenge that is put together students and professionals in 48 hours to optimize codes and make some efforts to have the best results and to sensibilize all these actors to the eco-design software. You have published some scientific publication in ICT for sustainability, and one of the topic of my presentation, we have created the first Green Code label to engage actors in the eco-design activities. So Green Code Label is a French label for a sustainable web. Main objective is first is to take into action all the suppliers, all the people that are interested in making some efforts, because it's efforts, in developing digital services and paying attention to energy and resource consumed by the services. So we created this label because of the way to communicate, of course, of this effort, because it's important to say I do something, but I want to communicate on this thing that I am engaged on this kind of efforts for the planet and for my digital users. So what is the Green Code Label? A big picture. It's based, of course, on a repository of green rules. This repository is public, and there are 44 rules in this repository. You can have, of course, a self-assessment, because we have created an Excel spreadsheet that you can use to self-assess your own development, your own website. You can, of course, have a preparation with accredited consultants that can help you to correct or to have some relevant facts to do in your website. And you have, if you want, an independent exam by the Green Code Lab, if you want to have this label, and it's based on 5 web pages on your website. Just a sample, because it's too long to study all the web pages on a website. And the label, it's you can of course pass this label and have this for 2 years. It concerns just the website for the labelization, and you can obtain 3 different levels of this label depending of your results and the respect of the different criteria. Effectiveness on the perimeter, you have different parts on the Green Code label. You have the effectiveness of the server code, of course, the low use of databases, optimization of network transfers, effectiveness of the customer's code resource consumption, and relevance and sobriety of presentation of the content, of course, image, video, etc., etc., without obligation of austerity, because EcoDesign is not austerity. It's performance, it's care of energy consumption, but you can have a very pleasant page with this kind of approach. So just the repository, it contains criteria of means and criteria of results, 32 criteria of means. What is means is it's rules that you have to apply in your website that you can, of course, that can help you to consume less in your website, but it's not a result criteria. And what is important in our label, in the Green Code label, is that we have created 2 criteria of results with a tool that we have developed, Web Energy Archive, that is able to measure the result, not just the fact that you apply the good criteria, but the fact that you obtain a good result. So it's very important to be sure that the label is not just based on this criteria of means, because you can sometimes, and we could see further, that you can manage all these good criteria, these 32 criteria, but with no certitude on the results that you can have, because all the bad practices cannot be put into criteria of means. So we measure energy on the website, and we measure the number of queries in these 2 criteria of results that you have put in your page, home page. Yeah. Just some criteria that it's interesting to understand. The criteria 22. Stop processing if the user no longer views the page. Of course, it's not the main case of a website, because when you think about your website, you think about the navigation, the way to take your user, your internaut, from this page to another page. But a lot of time the user is just displaying the page, and when you just display the page, or you have just opened the page is always active, because you have not stopped the treatments behind. So here on the graphs, you can say that after 25 seconds, we just put under the pages in your navigator, and it consumes 1 watt. So it's very important to notice that the pages without any action continues to consume a lot of. So one of the criteria is to stop processing if there is no action, no longer view the page. And so it's one of the criteria we have on the client part. Green Code label rule, here it's more simple, of course, easy to understand. It's a optimization of image, optimization of video, if you want to talk about content more generally. And we have to adapt image to the user platform. It's not the same image for a big screen and for a smartphone displaying. So on this case, we have to adapt the image we send to the user on the network, but and the treatment we have on the device, because if you send a big image on your network, you have to put on the networks, and you have to minimize these images on your device, and it's a treatment locally that consumes a lot of energy. A criteria of energy, it's eliminating criteria. We give some points to this criteria. If you are under consumption, you have 2 points, label A. If you are under label B, you are 1 point. And if you are under label C, you have 0 points, but it's not eliminating criteria. And for this, we use a tool that we have created in the Green Code Lab Association that is based on a R&D project with ADEME, the French environmental agency, that is based on the real measure on the PC and with different browsers in this PC. And we can measure with a metering on a bench of different PCs the consumption of a page, and we can display for any users. In the context of label, it's one of the key criteria, because if you don't respect it, you cannot obtain the label. It's just based on home page, because we don't want to measure all the different pages, but it's one of the key criteria to estimate the good value of the website and the good results of the good practices and the good criteria we have talked about before. Different levels, it's easy to understand. We just to obtain bronze or silver or gold level, you have to respect a certain number of rules for level 1 or level 2, and if you added these 2 results, you can obtain certification, a gold certification or over certification level. I think it's not the good. It's a mistake. It's a bronze for gold, and there is an inversion. So a short story of not Metropole for the website on the debate for energy project in the territory with the different actors. Not Metropole has created a website to make exchanges, to put good practices on energy management for different use cases. And there is a debate on this with several actors and several people that contribute to this project. And Not Metropole decided to explore with Mathieu and the digital teams in Not Metropole to say that if we want to be exemplar, we have to put some good practices in the website. We will for this special debate, and so we begin to enter in the EcoDesign way with Not Metropole, and for this Not Metropole decided to begin the process of labelization on the label, on the Green Code label. So the website is non-transition energetic, and one of the difficulties we have sometimes is that of course the website is not developed by Not Metropole but by a digital partner, external partner. So we have to be sure that of course, Not Metropole is motivated by this, but at the same time, the digital partner is ready to make this kind of effort in the process. So in this case, it was a good digital partner and ready to make this kind of effort with Not Metropole. And the first evaluation we have done was made by Green Specter, and we were near silver level for this assessment. But one of the key criteria, as I said, is the consumption of energy. And at this time, Nantes Metropole was label F, so it was not a good news for Nantes Metropole that cannot obtain this kind of label. So it was the first assessment. So we have several discussions internally with Nantes Metropole, and Green Specter helped Nantes Metropole to find a good solution and to find where was the measure the hotspot of consumption in the website. And in the homepage here, on the web page, there is a slider that consumes a lot. 80% of the consumption was due to the slider, and so we begin to explore different possibilities to change this and to perform the consumption of the web page. We try to find what is relevant to change, and here we can just notice the different consumption corresponding to the speed of displaying the pictures in the sliders, and for 5 seconds, for 10 seconds, and for 20 seconds of the frequency of the displaying a new image. And so we could give the good facts, the good elements to decide on Nantes Metropole marketing or communication teams. So Nantes Metropole decided to target the gold level. Say we have to be engaged on this label, and so we will try to obtain the gold level. So it was a good decision, of course, but that implied a lot of effort to do this. There is a big decision that was taken by business owner and communication teams in the Nantes Metropoles to replace the image slider by a changing image that change every time you go on the web, on the home page. You change the image and to give different communication messages. And it was accepted by Nantes Metropole. So you have no more slider on the home page because it's too consuming. And of course, they have to put a budget with the digital partners, a couple of days to be sure to respect and to change slider and to change slider by dynamic images and to change some criteria to obtain gold certification. And after the certification was passed with success, and they obtained the gold label because of the respect of all of this. So after this, they are A label for the measurement of the homepage. So it was a very success story of what we can do if we make some efforts and if we measure something. Because if you don't measure this, you can say that a slider is not a good thing for a website. But when you know you have the consumption, the real consumption, you can say, oh, I don't think it was so much, but I can change something, and perhaps the decision could be to change a slider by just image. The end of the story is that another website, the museum Nantes Fine Art, Musée des Beaux-Arts, the decision was taken to integrate this repository to be sure that we can obtain one day if they want to pass to take the exam. And so it was integrated with another digital partner in another project. And since 2 months, Nantes Metropole decided to integrate in the new referended websites, nantesmetropole.fr or every other a lot of websites, to integrate this kind of measurement with our tool, Specter's cloud solution, that is able to measure every time you want the pages with different configuration to measure all the pages of their websites in energy and resources, and to apply the good practices of the label. So it's the first website was a key first step of something that is in progress and that is now applied in the new projects of Nantes Metropole. And and if we want to just retain this, it's a success story concerning this action for Nantes Metropole. So just to finish, I put some links that are very interesting for you if you are interested in these labels on the community and different tools we have. Okay.
Thank you very much, Thierry. Okay.
So thank you for your attention.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going to skip the questions and move on to Martin Dargent, as we have 10 more minutes. Martin is the CEO at EasyVert. Thank you for joining us. Who worked 14 years in major IT consulting firms, and he coordinates the team and leads the commercial development currently of EasyVert, which stands for efficiency and optimization. So with that, I'd like to pass the floor to you, Martin. Yes. Please go ahead. Thank you very much.
Can you see my screen? Hi, everybody.
Okay. Hello, Martin. Yes. Do you want to just put it in full optimization of the screen?
Okay.
Super.
It's okay?
Not yet. It's protected. Maybe if you want to take off the protection at the top, if that's what it is.
Is it better?
It is. Wonderful. Go ahead. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Thierry. It was very interesting. My name is Martin Dargent. Donc I'm one of the founders of EasyVert. We are a team of men, I'm sorry, but we are very specialized in IT efficiency, and we're more focused on servers. One other part of consumption, electricity consumption for IT. Our history, we founded EasyVert 7 years ago. We came from the research, and since the beginning, we tried to find good solution to improve the IT consumption. It's not so easy, so I will share our experience about that. Our objective is really to find solution, to find concrete solution, because it's not easy. We are more focused on IT infrastructure, on why virtualization. Matthew in the beginning told about servers, told about virtualization. He said virtualization is really good. We have to understand that instead of having many physical servers, you can have only one server. Here in the example, you have only one physical server instead of 4. Matthew said 10 years ago, instead of having 160 physical servers, he had, with the virtualization, it comes to 60 servers. So it's really a good thing in an environmental way. But we noticed at the present time a really big rebound effect. Why this rebound effect? VMs are so practical and easy to install. All the organization deployed a lot of them. As you can see in the example of Nantes, they now have more than 600 VMs. We measure more than 300 organizations. It's the same thing everywhere. They know they have to buy new physical server to bear the huge amounts of them. So that's not so good. One other thing very interesting, I don't know if you know this diagram. In a data center, if you, for 100 watts, you have only, at the end, 2.5 watts really useful for computing. We talk about cooling system. In fact, really, we have a loss of waste of energy at this point. But the main point is a low utilization of server, 92%. And if you improve this part, it's really important for the rest. So what are the findings about virtualization? What we measured and what we can see everywhere is that around 10% of VMs are not used. They are still there because it's virtualized. We don't know if it's very useful, but it's still a switch on, as Matthew in the beginning. 80% of the VMs are oversized. In the team, they know when VMs are undersized because there are risk of problems, but when they are oversized, it's not really noticed. Optimization has not really done about VMs. We don't know. We don't want to care about it. It's not really well managed. One other part is really interesting to notice that CTO don't have capacity planning tools. So the first thing, they don't want to take risk. So they tend to buy new server to avoid risk. They are not really sure about our capacity. So it's better to buy new physical server. We don't want to take risks. There is a lot of mismanagement with virtualization. It's really useful, but we have to manage this. So what we have done, we would share our first experience. Our first software, Optimized DC, we from the research. What was this solution? We were able to minimize, to optimize the placement, the virtual machine placement, in a way to switch on the minimum of physical server. We were able to switch on or switch off dynamically physical server. We thought it was a really clever idea, but this idea, we won a lot of prize, but it was really difficult to sell this solution because CIOs don't want to take risk. So on the other part, they don't pay directly the energy consumption. So this is not the good way to improve virtualization, energy consumption on servers. Then we developed DCScope. DCScope is more monitoring tools, and these tools will help CIOs to understand what is really useful. They can use capacity planning very easily, and they have a look, really a vision of what is what they really needed. And this solution, we are able to not to buy more physical server or to switch off physical servers, not dynamically, but in not dynamically, but in the time of time. Look, and this way to improve virtualization is a good thing. It's a good way. We have a lot of return of experience of many companies, and there is a really good improvement. So I've been really quick because I've seen the time. It's already 12 o'clock. If you have any question, don't hesitate to call me. I'll give you, Sylvana, I give you the part.
Thank you very much, Martin. Sorry. Yes, I saw you were there already. Yeah, let's see if we can try and wrap up with one question already. Your future plans?
For Isabel?
Yes.
Yeah, for Isabel. We try to we are trying to develop our company in an international way. First of all, in Europe and everywhere in the world.
Okay, super. Well, now with that, I'd like to thank the speakers, all three of you, for your interesting interventions. I'd like to thank the audience who listened in. I will add also that EasyVert, together with Green Specter, are one of our suppliers on the marketplace of ICT Footprint. So if any of you would like to find out more information about them, please go to the dedicated area on our web space. We will be uploading the slides. They will be available for all of you to download after the event. Now, we do have, sorry, if you can see on the screen now, the updates to keep updated on what's happening on ICT Footprint. As I said, the upcoming event is happening in November. First week in December, sorry, at ICT 2018. We will be organizing a final event where we want to put together some policy actions in a future roadmap around green ICT. So again, if you have anything you'd like to contribute to that, we'd be happy to include it in our final summary and takeaway. With that, I'd like to thank again Martin, Mathieu, and Thierry. I wish you all a great day, and thank you for being with us for the hour. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.